As you all know, I'm a big fan of the Drakengard and Nier series, with it being one of my favorites of all time, and it's one of the biggest reasons why I decided to give Final Fantasy XIV another shot earlier this year, with the Yorha Dark Apocalypse crossover raid series looking amazing. On top of the fact that I could have two of my favorite gaming series share a story, no matter how short or nonsensical it may be, got me excited. Also, the fact that this wasn't a limited time event or a short 3-mission quest to get some Nier glamours really shows the amount of respect and trust Yorha Dark has earned with his contemporaries in Square Enix. But the special thing about this collaboration is how it was written, giving players of Final Fantasy XIV a small taste of what us Drakengard and Nier fans have been experiencing for years, while at the same time expanding the Final Fantasy XIV universe greatly, building on the fact that the source and the other reflections could be connected to other Square games that could turn into giant collaborations later down the line. So starting with the first point, Dark Apocalypse has a different vibe compared to the rest of 14, with it lightly touching on the topic of what's the difference between a machine and a natural being, with Kong having to accept that his sister Aang died long before this story started, and the Aang that we meet here is simply a mechanical replication of his sister, with it taking on Kong's old personality, flipping the dynamic of the two siblings. But Kong doesn't care about that, because to him, whether the person in front of him is his original sister or not is irrelevant, because he cares about her, playing on the nature of androids and advanced machines from Nier Automata, with little things like a liquid similar to blood flowing out of their bodies when severely damaged, and machines wanting to replicate humans in the original game, which is shown off through 2P, who is an advanced machine who was only created to one day give birth to something more, which is expressed through her multiple appearances throughout the raid series and some items that you can find in the raid areas, which show that she has some genuine thoughts about if there is a difference between a synthetic soul and a natural one, and if a synthetic soul can give birth, what would the offspring be, or does it even matter? Wrapping itself back around to the situation Kong finds himself in with his sister. But moving on from the small taste of Nier storytelling that Final Fantasy XIV fans are getting exposed to, the implications of what this collaboration could do for the universe of Final Fantasy XIV and the greater landscape of Square Enix properties is interesting, because of Yorha Dark's comments on if the story is canon, and from what he says it is. And from my understanding of the story, I believe that this story takes place after ending E of Nier Automata because of what 2B does as she and 9S leave to close the portal. She leaves a copy of the memories that she has made in this world with Kong and the player so they can look back on the time they spent together, on top of actually thanking the player for helping her, which is something she would have never done before Route E. On top of the fact that there are visual hints as well, with the bunker crashed into the desert, which is only possible if ending E has already happened and no one is piloting it anymore, which now means that we could possibly see other Square Enix properties get continuations or random stories that are canon in completely different series, with Final Fantasy VII having its own multiverse, and with Kingdom Hearts being a series based off of a weird crossover itself, in addition to the world of Final Fantasy and Dissidia working with this concept on a smaller scale, with it sticking just to Final Fantasy. It could mean that Dark Apocalypse is special not only because of how it solidifies the Drakengard and Nier series in the industry once again, but also because it may be the first step of something much greater going on at Square Enix. But you know what else is special? You, because you made it to the end of this video. And if you want to see more videos like this one, comment, like, and subscribe with notifications turned on to see more videos like this one. But with that being said, it's been Skipx, and I'm out.